Pop culture. It's all around us. Movies, television, art, clothes, music, books, celebrities.
Parents do think that media has a big influence.
That the media's influence on children's development.
The media are quite influential.
And whether you realize it or not, pop culture is influencing your every decision. What you eat, what you wear, your lifestyle, the people you engage with, and the things you buy. The sad truth of the matter is that society is what it consumes, and that is pop culture.
New report out this morning, how to keep gender stereotypes in the media from having too much influence on their children.
Parents say TV and movies have a heavy influence on how their kids think they should look, talk, and even how they should act.
We are talking about the sexualization of little girls in today's world.
Gender stereotypes are found in pop culture more often than not. Taking a look at my favorite childhood TV show, Wizards of Waverly Place, all of the main female characters had more flaws than the male characters. Additionally, male characters were paid to be more successful than the females. Multiple studies have shown how engaging with certain media can influence the way men and women are treated. What are we then to say to the children who watch shows like Wizards of Waverly Place? Should boys be raised to believe that they'll be successful no matter what? And that girls are naturally more imperfect than their male counterparts? And that they should just stick to the shopping, the cooking, and the cleaning?
This one is Claudine the Wolf. My favorite activity is shopping and flirting with boys.
That's wonderful.
Really? I'm just saying.
The view on gender is massively influenced by pop culture and the media. General Hospital is the longest-running soap opera in production, which features the super couple, Luke and Laura, the phrase is coined by the show, a couple which came about after a rape incident between the two characters. Plain and simple, the production romanticized rape, by later writing a marriage into both of these characters' journeys. Viewers, however, are unable to see this because of their clouded judgment. The NPR podcast explains, while society is somewhat to blame for worshiping said unhealthy relationships, it is mostly the writer of the scripts to blame. Certain stalker-like characters like Edward Cullen are accepted as romantic because the writers persuade their audience to view them in that way, despite some of their unspeakable behavior. Perhaps the most recent example in which a pop culture romanticized abusive relationship would be none other than the 50 Shades of Grey series. According to Huffington Post, rope sales have increased. This somewhat humorous fact should not be taken lightly, as viewers are trying the stunts in the films which they watch. Since the movie does not ever show the main female character seeking help from medical professionals or the police, it can only be assumed that girls who watch this will engage in this sort of relationship seeking out the exaggerated romantic ideals of the movie, yet not know what to do when things take a turn for the worst. Today, we, the people of society, are constantly bombarded with portrayals of hypersexualized and objectified women and overly masculine men in fast food commercials, television and movies, and other types of entertainment. Not only does pop culture influence the way we act, it also influences our body image and how we view others' bodies. According to Peggy Orenstein's book, Cinderella Ate My Daughter, an obsession with beauty can increase a girl's vulnerability to mental health problems later in life, including eating disorders, depression, and risky sexual behavior.
Today's toddlers, when they watch this movie, are going to look at this and then one day look at their waist and be like, why isn't it the size of my neck?
The effects of Orenstein's claim is not as seemingly dramatic until paired with the statistic that a staggering 96% of preschool girls view Disney princess media, according to a study conducted by Brigham Young University. This means that 96% of preschool girls are being exposed to contents that can have detrimental effects on them later on in life.
I loved Jasmine's little tiny waist so much that I asked my mother if I could remove a rib so that my waist could look like that.
The worst part of all of this is that a large majority of parents have no idea about the negative effects of allowing their child to interact with Disney material, and therefore the problem is all the more harmful. 18-year-old Lucy Matheson developed an eating disorder at the age of 8 when her and her friends would bring their dolls to school and admire how skinny and pretty they were. So before we even ask the question, how do we get rid of these problems in society, we should be asking who's creating these problems in the first place. And that is pop culture. Everything about society is heavily influenced by pop culture and the media it interacts with. Society looks to pop culture as goals for achievement, when in reality, pop culture is just hypersexualized and creates many psychological and behavioral problems in society.